All right, welcome back to season 4 of our show, and today it's steaks, porterhouse steaks, thick ones. We're going to show you how to make a beautiful porterhouse steak dinner. Show you how to get it done. All right, so like I said, we're doing a steak dinner today. Right here we have some potatoes. We have our steak, of course, leeks. I have an onion, and I have some jumbo shrimp right here. We're going to get to this in just a second. The first thing we're going to do is get our steak seasoned. So we're just going to get this off to the side, and let's get our steaks over here. Now these are 4-inch steaks. I'm just going to show you this. I'm going to swing this around. I mean, look how thick that is. It's a little bit better than 4 inches thick. So it's 4 inches and a little bit more. About 5 pounds each. And this is how I like to cook my steaks. So the first thing I'm going to do is get these seasoned. A lot of people are scared of cooking a steak this size. But believe me, if you cook a steak this size, it's very easy. It's a lot easier than actually cooking a thin steak, because you have a lot of leeway with it. When you cook something that's thin, you got to get it on and get it off fast. With this guy right here, you don't have to do that. So let's just get this over. It's so thick I can't even get my hands around it. And of course you'll have some room for shrinkage. I season the bone too. And the reason why I season the bone is because when I give it over to my doggies, they got some flavor on that bone. So I always make sure I season their bone for them too. All right, let's just get that salt on here. Might look like a lot of salt, but it's really not. This is diamond crystal. And you guys are probably wondering how he's gonna cook that. We're pan frying these. That's right, we're pan frying them up. So here's our salt. I'm gonna get a little bit more on that side. And it goes so fast and so easy. And here's our rub. So we're coming in with a rub. This has no salt in it. Garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, a little clove. That's right, cloves. So when you use cloves on a steak like this and you're going inside and you're not on the grill, those cloves are gonna kind of give you a dry-aged steak taste. So if you guys are familiar with dry-aged steaks, it has like a little hint behind it, almost like a clovey taste. And when you go to major steakhouses, I actually visited a few times Peter Luger's in Manhattan, and also Peter Luger's on Long Island in New York. And they dry-age their steaks. And it's a little secret I've been doing for years to give that little hint of dry-aged meat. And it works out beautiful, especially on steaks this big. All right, so I'm gonna get that done. Now, usually I'm gonna oil these, and I oil them right before the cook because I want those seasonings to set in. And a lot of people ask me, why do you oil the steaks after you season them? It's so all these flavors can set in. So you want all this to absorb into the meat. And if you oil the steaks first, I'm gonna put a little bit more on here. You oil the steaks first, it's not gonna soak it in like a sponge because you're repelling the seasoning and you're not putting it in. All right, so these are done. I'm gonna get these off to the side. These are gonna chill out outside. Now you always wanna cook a steak at room temperature. It's gonna help with even cooking. If you cook this right out of the refrigerator, it's not gonna cook evenly. So we're gonna put these off to the side. We're gonna meet you right back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Okay, so we got our steaks seasoned, and now we're playing again, process of elimination. And I'm gonna show you what to do from here. So we're making some potato leek soup. Cold potato leek soup will be called vichyssoise, and that's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make it cool. We're not gonna have a hot potato leek soup. We're gonna show you a cool one. So right here we got some prawns. Now most people don't put prawns in their soup, but we're going to use this afterwards just to have them with the steak, because you can't have steak, I feel, without a beautiful shrimp. And instead of using a shrimp cocktail, we're going to make a beautiful vichyssoise. So these are leeks, just like a big scallion they would be. And a lot of people don't use these because they don't really know what to do with them. And they're kind of outdated. A lot of people don't use this today. This was used big back in the 70s, and this was Julia Child's favorite. So what we're gonna do with these is we're not gonna use the top of this like a scallion. we're gonna go to about here, and we're gonna cut that off. The reason why we're cutting that off about there is because they don't offer any flavor. They're gonna make this soup, if you're using this potato leek soup, they're gonna make it really bitter, and you don't wanna use the top of the leek. But don't throw them out. You can save them for other things. And they come in beautifully for other things. All right, so these have a lot of sand in them. And they're all sand. Right now, my table is very gritty and sandy because these are just loaded with sand. So the first thing we'll do is just cut off the bottoms, just like that. And you're gonna discard the bottoms. And just like that, you're all set. So now once we discard the bottoms, you're gonna look around if there's any leaves like that that don't look good, just pull them to the side, because you want all the leaves to be, or all the layers of this to be nice and fresh. And if you can see this, my hands are filled with sand. They're filthy. So you want to do something about that, and we're doing it. So pull off a couple of the layers. Once you get down the layers like that, I'm gonna put these to the side. I'm gonna hold my leek. Let's use this one. I'm gonna hold my leek this way. And I'm just gonna cut down, just like this. I'm gonna take my leek, I'm gonna turn it over, and we're just gonna start to cut down just like that. Just take your time doing it. Now you're gonna need a strainer. So I'm using this pot that has a strainer in it, and I'm gonna just put them all into the strainer like this. So you could just separate these like this. You'll see as they separate. So make sure when they're in the pot that you're just separating them, because we're gonna clean them and all the water is gonna get in there. So just make sure you separate them. You can just feel all the dirt that's just coming out of here. It's like a really sandy dirt, because the way these grow. Now, you can grow these in a lot of places, but you need a lot of kind of like swampland to grow these, or you're gonna have to keep watering them. So they kind of grow just like a scallion, but you need a lot of moisture. And the time to grow them is early spring, late fall. That's when you want to grow these. They grow best and not a lot of heat, but a very damp area. So I'm in the South Georgia, and the area that I live in is very swampy, so these are really, really good to grow in the area that I'm in, because I don't have to water, because our land stays damp all the time. All right, so I'm gonna get to cutting these up. The rest of these, we got a potato here. We're gonna cut up our potatoes. When we get back here, I'm gonna show you how to get all this together. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we got our leeks nice and cut up and clean. So just gonna show you what we're working with. Look at that, beautiful. You wanna make sure you rinse these several times. Get every drop of that sand out, because if you get one drop of sand in there, believe me, you will not be happy. Here's potatoes, they're washed, clean. Onions, yellow onions, some butter, some garlic. And we got some chicken stock here, so onto the stove we go. All right, so our onion is sweating down in butter. And when I say sweat, that means a nice, gentle, easy cook of the onion to make it translucent. So this has been going now for about 8 minutes. And now I'm gonna get in my leeks. And you just wanna gently cook those down and sweat these down too. And don't rush this process. This process is gonna take a good 30 minutes to do. So gently do this. Do that. And we're just gonna stir them in with the onion. Now along with this, I'm gonna put just a pinch of salt in here. A little bit more. And you can always taste it afterwards. And I'm going with a little bit of black pepper in here. Just a pinch. Like that. That's it. All right, we're gonna sweat this down and we're gonna meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our leeks are sweated down. Look at that. That's how you wanna see that. Nice and soft. We're gonna go in with some garlic. It's about 8 cloves there. Get those stirred in. And the reason why I didn't crisp them up there is because I want a nice gentle flavor from the garlic. And let's get our potatoes in. We're gonna give this a little stir. We're gonna blend this down anyway. The whole thing is gonna be blended down. So just get the potatoes in. Just like that. And this is the important part. I'm gonna go in with some liquid. The chicken stock. Just enough to cover the potatoes. That's all you're gonna need right there. It's important that you don't put in too much liquid, because by the time these things cook down, you don't wanna have too much water in here when we blend it. All right, we're gonna get the lid on here and we're gonna cook these until tender, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we got those potatoes boiling, and while those potatoes are boiling, we're just gonna show you the shrimp. So we're making a little shrimp cocktail. Now we do have a video out. We'll leave a link in the description to the entire process and the cleaning of these, but we're just gonna show you one. It's a very large, colossal shrimp. What I do is I peel the shell off. Now these are peeled, now it's peeled. Easy open, which they slit the back open for you. Devein it. You always have to look around. So what I like to do is take the shell, put it in here with the shrimp. Now all of these shrimp that are in here, they're all just sitting right on top of the shell. We're gonna park this one on top of the shell, just like that. And then we're gonna add a little water. This is how much water you need to steam these on the shell. So just a little splash of water on the bottom of there. It's not much. It's all you need. A lot of people like to put a bunch of water in here and boil everything out of them, so don't do that. So if you don't have a steamer, just do it like this. Put them on the shell, all that flavor is gonna come out from the shell, and that's it. Onto the stove we go. All right, so we put these on the stove at high heat, and as soon as you see them starting to bubble, get the lid on. We're gonna leave that lid on for about 2 to 3 minutes. That's it, no more. We're gonna take them off the heat and just let them sit there and cook. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, that's it. Our shrimp are done. Let's get them out of here. So I got some ice water here, and we're just gonna go right into the ice water just to stop the cooking. And that's it. Into the fridge they go, and you'll see these a little later on. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got our steaks getting ready to get fired up. Our shrimp are in the fridge, and our potatoes are off the stove. Let's show you this. Take a look at that. So when these potatoes start to break up and they get mushy like this, that's when you know you're ready. All right, so we're gonna bring in a hand mixer, and we're just gonna go in and start mixing. Now you wanna mix this up until it's smooth, I mean silky smooth. We're gonna mix this and we're gonna meet you right back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so now that we got this nice and smooth, we want it a little bit smoother, so this is where we start to add our heavy cream. I'm gonna add a good douse of that in here. I kind of know my ratios, but make it yours. All right, so that's about where I want it right now. And what I'll do, I'm gonna get everything off my spoon. And I'm just gonna mix it by hand now. Look how smooth that is. I mean, that's silky smooth. That's how you want that. Now this is the only soup that you can eat hot and eat cold. And that cream just really makes things really, really nice in there. Look how smooth that is. That's it. Now let's give this a taste. This is where you got to adjust your seasoning for salt. I could use a lot more salt. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more salt. And then again, make it yours, to your liking. If you don't want to add any salt, you don't have to. But if you're gonna put anything on this, which I don't recommend, you can add bacon in here. I mean, this is just a really beautiful dish. It's a French dish, but we do enjoy it in the South. And we make this with scallions. So my mom never made this with leeks, because back in those days, you didn't see leeks around, you saw scallions. And we made the same thing with scallions. And used a blender because my hand mixer I had, we didn't have that either. That's it, so let's just give this a shot. Perfect. We're gonna let this cool and we're gonna get our steaks going, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to get these steaks going. So we're gonna fry up some of this sage. I'm gonna put a little garlic behind it. And the reason why I'm doing this is to build up a little flavor. All right, in with our steaks. Let's start with this one. Nice hot pan. We'll just slide it over. Get a little oil underneath that. And then we'll get in our second one. Just like that. I'm gonna brown up all the sides. I got my oven going right now at 350, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven after I brown up all the sides and finish that steak off. So we'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to brown up the other sides to this. I'm gonna swing this around so you guys can get a chance to see this. That's a big boy. We're gonna move this one around to the other side as well too. Don't think you're burning these things up, because you're not. You're gonna get a nice char on the outside of here. And just cook it. So I'm gonna brown all these up, brown up all the sides, and then we're gonna show you right before it goes into the oven what this all looks like. But that's a nice char there, and then we're gonna get this some charred up some more over here. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we're just about ready to go into the oven with these. And I'm just working with these guys. And I'm gonna get them on the bone. Just like that. And now I'm going into the oven with them. So that's the way I want them, so they don't fall over. And into the oven we go. Make sure they're not touching anything. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, I'm just gonna throw a quick stick of butter in here. This is frozen butter. It'll make a beautiful sauce. We'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's take a look and see what we got going on. Look at those guys. I'm just gonna see if I'm ready and kind of feel around. I'm just gonna push, and I'm not there yet. That's about 110 degrees. I want to take this up to about 127, 130. All right, we'll meet you right back here, so don't go anywhere. All right, here we are, season 4 chopping block. Thick cut porterhouse steak and potato leek soup. Let's show you what we got. Look at those guys. Doesn't get any better than that. Now we let these rest for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. That butter is melted down in there and everything's ready to roll. So this is our shrimp cocktail. We're gonna move this off to the side. And the first thing we'll do is show you this soup. Look at that. That is our potato leek soup. Let's get into it. Let's get a bowl and plate this up, show you how it is. Now that's the consistency you're looking for, just like that. Now we let this cool down. It's still warm, very warm. And we're gonna plate this up for you in a bowl. Now this is how I plate this up. Now for a French dish, we're in the South. So we turned it into a Southern dish. And we're plating this up with sour cream and some Southern scallions, because that's how we do it. All right, so we're gonna get that in there like that. I'm gonna put this down. We made some pesto. I'm gonna get that pesto, dab in the middle. Then I got some sour cream. So we're gonna go right off to the side with just a touch of sour cream. Maybe just a little bit more. Just like that. We're gonna hit this with a little scallion, just to finish this off. We're gonna put it around. I left a spot right there. And the reason why I left that spot wide open is so I can get one of these beautiful prawns right dab in the middle there. So I'm gonna take this beautiful prawn and I'm gonna stick it right here off to the side, just like that. And there it is. Dish number 1 down. Let's just put that down this way. It's falling down on me. And there it is. Easy way to plate that up and look beautiful. I'm just gonna put a little bit more scallion around here, and that makes a beautiful presentation. Take a look at that. All right, we're gonna get this off to the side. So let's get this bad boy onto the bench. 5 pounds of pure meat. Can't go wrong with this one. Let's slide that over. Now I'm gonna put it on its bone like that. And the reason why I'm putting it on its bone, because it's gonna make an easier slice for me. So let's get into here. So I'm gonna look around, and the first thing I'll do, let's move this over, is I'm gonna come directly down this part and follow my bone. So I'm just gonna hug the bone right on this part right here. Just hug it right down. Then I'm gonna put it down on its side. Now that we got that, I'm just gonna follow the bone. Just like that. And cut that piece right at it. Just like if you were at a steakhouse. And flip this back around and look at that. Perfectly medium rare. So let's cut that up. I'm gonna cut it up and then I'm gonna put it all back in place. So we're gonna start here and just start cutting these pieces down. This is how you want to serve this. If you are serving, let me turn it this way for you guys so you guys can get a look. Just come down this way. Now this steak feeds 2, or would feed 5 small eaters, but nobody in my house is a small eater. I mean, I can nail out one of these things by myself. And yes, I could nail out 5 pounds worth of meat with no problem. A little uncomfortable at night, but I can get it done. All right, so we're gonna slide that back in, and then we're gonna show you the fillet side of this. We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna follow the bone down, as close to that bone as you can. My dogs would tell me otherwise. They don't want me close to that bone. They want me to leave as much meat on that bone as I can. All right. Let's just get that off of there. And there it is. And here's the bone. So one lucky doggy will get that one. So let's cut this up. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm just gonna cut down. Just like that. And look how beautiful that looks. Then you can take it and just put it right back into place, just like that. And you can plate this up for 1 or 2. So let's just get a couple of these pieces on the plate. So I'm going to take a beautiful piece from the middle here. Let's get that on the plate. And I'm going to take a little bit of that fillet part and get that on the plate there. I'm going to put this down, and I'm just going to move this off to the side. Bring our plate in. All right, let's get our potato leek back in. Let's get that steak back in. All right, so inside this tray, we made a beautiful steak sauce in here. And this is the steak sauce. So what we'll do is we're gonna come in here and just put that nice butter sauce right on there. Just sprinkle it right over top of that steak. Can't go wrong with that. And I'm gonna park a couple of my pepperoncinis right on the side because I love my pepperoncinis, as some people would say. Okay, let's get a bite of this. Let me get right into that steak. See how that is. That steak is just outstanding. It's pan fried. That's my favorite steak in the world. I love my grills, I love my barbecues, but nothing beats a pan fried steak in house. Excellent. Let's taste the soup. So old-fashioned, beautiful. And try some of that shrimp in there. Everything just works together. I mean, you got the steak, you got the potato leek soup. Brings you right back to like 1975. Pretty crazy. I mean, it's an indoor steak. Can't complain with this one. All right, we're gonna get organized. I'm gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. A beautiful pan-fried porterhouse steak finished off in the oven. And we had to throw down with some potato leek soup, blast from the past. And we accompanied that with a beautiful shrimp cocktail. Prawns. Not gonna go wrong with this meal, guys. Hope you get a chance to make it. And if you like this video or more videos about to come, give a like, hit that bell, this way you get those notifications first. Thank you, we enjoyed having you. With no further ado, gotta finish off that little Pitmaster taste there again.